So I just got the first layer down for the fiberglass. You know, last time I checked in with you guys, I just had finished the aluminum plate that the bolts will bolt into for that front engine mount, but finally was able to get this first layer of fiberglass in, so this was an exciting point in the process because it's starting to get back to how it should be. Now I went slow, I took my time, and I went pretty light with the fiberglass and the resin because I want to make sure that it cures and that when it cures it's as strong as it should be. If you go too heavy with the resin, you'll actually have heat that will start to build up from the chemical reaction between the hardener and the resin itself. So anyway, let me show you where I'm at here. I'll show you the progress I made. So again, might not look like much to you, but I'm pretty pleased. The basic shape is starting to kind of take formation where that mount will go. You can see the aluminum, let me show you here. You can see the aluminum plate right there. And then what I did was I took two pieces of cardboard and kind of taped them up and put them here so I had something flat and level to lay the glass against. Then the glass down here is just laying against the hull. It was a little bit tricky to lay the glass here where it's vertical because there's nothing behind there. That's just a hollow cavity, only about 1 inch deep. You know, I thought about putting expandable foam back there and then trimming the foam so that way I would have something to glass against. The reason I didn't though is because it's such a small area. I mean, it only stretches that 4 inches there. It's only 1 inch deep, and I just feel like it would have been a waste to get the expandable foam and shoot it in behind there. Would have made things a little bit easier because it was a little bit tricky laying this glass here vertically because, you know, this is, I don't know, 5 or 6 different strips here, all about 1 inch wide, 3 inches long, and getting them to line up, you know, with each other was a little bit difficult. Just took some time and some playing around with it, but overall I'm pretty pleased with it. And you'll notice that there's some gaps here, not a big deal. Again, the whole point of this first layer was to just get the basic shape and to take my time. This shouldn't take too long to cure because, especially with it being that hollow cavity under there, I think with the air getting in behind it, it won't be too bad. So hopefully I should be able to get at least a second layer down today. My goal for the second layer will be to get the glass put over here, and then I'll probably put one piece down that's almost the entire size of this block, and then I'll just start layering up this here. Now, since I'll have a nice, decent surface to press against when I'm laying the glass, I can start to go with pieces that are slightly bigger. The problem is though, if you go with pieces that are too big, you're not going to get these curves in here are not going to stay clean. And I want this to look as close to factory as possible when I'm done. I don't want it to look like something that was, you know, a hack job. So just going to continue to take my time, and my goal is that over the next 2 or 3 days just to have this completely finished with glassing, and then once I get done with that, I'm going to move on to painting the rest of the bilge. So again, overall, turned out pretty well, and did want to mention too that I'm using epoxy resin, not using polyester. I'm not sure what SeaDoo used. I know that if they used any type of mold release, and if they used polyester, if they used like a polyester resin with a mold release, I know that the polyester resin would not stick to it now because that mold release chemical is always in there. You can't even sand it away. So the advantage of going with the epoxy, despite it being a little bit more expensive, is that it adheres much better, and it's just much stronger overall. And I didn't have to get much. I only bought like 64 ounces. I think it was like 40 or 50 bucks for the two. So anyway, that's all. I will come back and check back in with an update once I make it further along. Thanks.